Hi, I am Andy the Knittress, and this is my channel on the internet where I like to talk about yarn. You can find me on the internet as Andy the Knittress most places, and also the Naughty Knittress, Instagram, Ravelry, and my website, thenaughtyknittress.com.
I'm Scarlett.
The Knittress. The crochetist, I guess. Yeah. And what? And you're my daughter.
Yeah.
We got cute mugs from Joann Fabrics. They're adorable. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'll start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing my Tolsta tank by Creapia, I do believe. This is the vest version. It's super cute. I knit it up in Madeline Tosh. I think it was the work sock, and one of the colors is medieval. I think the purple is medieval and the blue is dopamine. This is super cute. I like wearing it over sweaters and t-shirts. Kind of gives me a little bit of warmth on chilly days, but also not full-length sweater. Yeah. So I have another FO. Do you want to show your FO?
Sure.
Because this is an FO also, not just what I'm wearing, because I finished this since last time we filmed. Today is September the 29th. I don't know when this video will get put up. It is episode 60.
Get the book out.
So here, I'll show the book. You can show your.
Yeah.
So Scarlett knit her. I'm gonna say knit. I mean crochet. She crocheted
The little bento box. This is the beginning of it. I'm supposed to make a few other things that go inside of it, but so far I have the little box part of it first.
So this is Crochet Cafe by
Lauren Epsy.
Lauren Epsy.
Yeah.
So you want to show them. You can show them what else you want to make, but don't show patterns. Just show the picture.
Yeah, I'm trying to find either one. Or the one that I'm doing. I just accidentally skipped it, I think. Yeah. This is currently what I'm making.
Okay, so hold it all the way up there, and I'll tuck in. So a little bento box and some veggies and.
We got some edamame, tomato, rice ball, hot dog that's somehow shaped like an octopus, and a hard-boiled egg.
And a cherry tomato.
Oh, yeah, cherry tomato.
Yeah, so it's got everything kind of listed here. It looks like a recipe. It's kind of cute. The recipe's basically the materials and the abbreviations. And we were kind of going through my books one day, and Scarlett saw that and instantly chained on her little bento box, just jumbo, because she obviously didn't use the yarn suggested in there, but I love that about her. She will just grab whatever yarn she's got and make it. So, cute. All right, I have another FO, and I finished my flax. This is a cropped sweater that I made for myself. This is knit out of Fairy Tale Knits in their Goldilocks ringlet base, which is a Targhee silk, and the color is Hello Sweetie. I did cropped and short sleeved, and I really love this. I will pop in a picture in between us of what I look like in it. It's absolutely adorable. I love it. I think everybody should make a cropped short sleeve flax sweater. And I keep telling people that, and a couple people have made one, and they're super cute. That's about all I have to say about this. It's really cute. I could have worn it today, but I figured I'd wear my little vest. So yeah, I don't know why I'm all flustered today. I feel like scatterbrained. It's because we're not doing it first thing in the morning. We're doing it at night.
It's not night, but it's not morning.
It's in the evening. So it's like almost dinner time, and so it feels weird to be doing it now instead of in the morning. But Little Miss wanted to be on the episode, so we kind of gotta make it work out with school and stuff. Okay, so I have a bajillion whips. Not really a bajillion, but a lot. Oh, actually, I'm skipping over some of my FOs. I have more FOs. I saw this pattern. It is called Sliplicious Stripe, And I will put in the information down below, who it's by, and always link everything because I cannot remember who the pattern designer it is, but I do know you can get the pattern either on Ravelry or at Earth Yarns because it is a pattern they put out, because this is for Earth Yarns Unique Worsted, which is a self-striping, but you have a little bit of slip stitches throughout here, which kind of gives it some interesting texture. It's a super easy pattern to follow, and it's very repetitive though, so it's not like you have to not pay attention. So I really enjoyed working on that. As soon as that pattern came out, I went ahead and cast one on for a shop sample. Not my color palette per se, but I really like what this pattern did to these stripes. Absolutely. So that is another FO that I have. And then one more is this is the Heathcliff hat. I can't remember the designer. It is a Barocco pattern in book 400 Mercado. I did this for a class in my shop. It is a great pattern if you are wanting to learn cables because the cables are color coded. I highly recommend that if you are knitting a cable pattern, that you go through and take a highlighter of a few different colors and highlight each of your different cables, because you have your left leaning and your right leaning. Sometimes you have cables that include purl stitches, sometimes they're just knit stitches. So go through your pattern and highlight all of your cables with coordinating colors on your chart, and then the, you know, on your little key. And I think that really helps for you to just have a visual quick reference, whether you need to hold it in the front, hold it in the back, if you have to, you know, purl 2 stitches, knit 2 stitches, etc. So I finished this one. This is knit in Barocco Mercado. The pattern calls for 2 skeins of yarn. I did, however, make this hat out of a 1 skein. I do believe the pattern calls for 2 because you can, it tells you to make a pom-pom for it. So the leftover from this was not enough to make a pom-pom. And rather than get a whole nother skein to just make a pom-pom, I went ahead and put on a little faux fur pom-pom, and it's just cute. So, Heathcliff hat, cabled hat. That is another FO I had. So, Scarlett, you want to show one of your whips since I have so many?
This is the most recent one I have casted on, and it is one of, if you checked the last episode out, it is one of the same cat beanies I made, but I decided to make a fall version. Probably can't tell, but it's like a sort of very light green and this dark orange.
It's like a very soft sage.
Yes, and I made my friend one of them in white and red, and I had not realized I needed his head measurement, so I thought his head was bigger than mine. It was actually quite smaller, so I had done it a little bit bigger than the middle part of my head, and I really liked how it turned out on me. I still gave it to him, but I decided to make the exact same version in different colors for myself.
So a little bigger.
Yes.
Nice. And that was the crocheted cat beanie by Little Things.
Little Things, yes.
On YouTube, and I will link that video down below that she followed for that. The yarn you are using looks like they are both cotton. Mm-hmm. This one is a Kramer cotton. This one kind of looks like papyrus, but we don't know because it lives in the stash bin in the front of the store. So I have a stash swap bin to where if you have yarn that you don't want to use anymore or leftovers, you put it in there, somebody will give it a new home. And Scarlett gave that yarn a new home. So next on my whip list, I have so many. I will show my chicken first. So far, I was hosting a chicken knit along here in my store, and I have been working on my little cluck skeleton. So it's a chicken, but it's a skeleton chicken, and so right now I have all of these are all little bone pieces that I have to sew on. And so far, this is what it looks like. It's so cute. Oh my gosh, I love it. So I did this pattern. I did it in stockinette, and I followed, there are a couple chicken patterns out there. The one that I followed is not the emotional support chicken, but it is the same, it's got like the same numbers and roughly the same instruction, different striping options. So this is, let's see, I'm trying to look for the name of the pattern and I'm not seeing it, but it is by Tracy Correia, and it kind of looks like that. But I took her pattern, followed all of her numbers, but instead of garter stitch, I did it in stockinette because I wanted to put a skeleton on this. And I am pretty much just freeform doing this. I thought initially that I could duplicate stitch over it, but because the stitches go in so many different directions because of the short rows and the shaping, it didn't prove to be the easiest, so I very quickly stopped doing that and just knit some things to sew on. I am using this picture here to kind of give it some bones. I am going to omit the legs though, because my chicken doesn't have legs, it's just sitting down. So yeah, I've got the little ribs and the spinal column, and this is a wing here, and then I'll do the back, I guess. I don't know. I guess this is the neck, and then the back. I don't know, but it kind of, you can see where I'm going with this. But it's got lots of ends that I am sewing in. I'm just really happy with this. I gotta finish this little guy and stick him in my spooky window for October. So that is my chicken. I will link the pattern that I used down below. And yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have like 4 whips, so I'll show one more and then you can show your next whip. And because you only have 2 whips, because you're keeping hold of you got willpower to not have all your cast-ons. All right, so the next thing I will show you is a new whip. And if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen this. This is not the one I'm trying to talk about. That is something else. So I was inspired. We had, you know, I think sometimes your phone listens to you, right? Because you get like inspired. So we were sitting at Stitch Group, and there was a new young person that was working on, I think it's called like applied crochet, to where you add crochet to things. And I was a little bit busy, so I didn't 100% pay attention to her and what she was doing. Her and Scarlett had a nice chat. I was dealing with some customers and stuff, and I think my phone was listening, because then the very next day I got like all of these reels and videos that showed people crocheting onto shirts and jean jackets and stuff like that. And so I was like, well, I can do that. I have a jean vest that totally needs sleeves, and I'm pretty sure there's a pattern out there to put like knit sleeves on a sweater. If I can find it, I will link it down below. But that to be said, it inspired me, and so I decided to do a little back stitch with a darning needle, well, a rather sharp one. On my vest, I did a back stitch, and I used like a crochet cotton cord so that it would be sturdy, and then I picked up with my yarn, and I am crocheting a little sleeve on this side. And I'm kind of just making it up as I go for the shaping, and I keep trying it on. And then I was like, how am I going to remember exactly what I did for one sleeve to repeat for the other sleeve? So I said, I'm not gonna. And I am knitting this one. So I will have 1 crochet sleeve and 1 knit sleeve, and I think it's going to be super cute. I don't pick this up enough since I got the initial dopamine kick from like figuring it out and casting it on, but I hope to have this finished by the spring. That's my goal, because that's probably when I would wear it, would be in the spring. This yarn is very cute. One of them is, they're both from Wonderland Yarns. One of them is Finding a Magical Realm, and the other one is Haunted Pathways, and I don't remember which is which. I'm gonna guess. There goes the cord. Oh, that's just a spare one. I'm going to guess that this one's Finding a Magical Realm and this one is Haunted Pathways. That's my guess. I was initially doing Magic Loop on this side, just because it started out rather large, and I was doing some shaping and I wanted to visually see it and try it on, and now I have switched to a smaller needle. But I am using size 4 for the knitting needle, and I am using a C crochet hook. So yeah, this is just a super cute little whip that you probably won't see for a while, and hopefully I'll have it done by the springtime. You want to keep going, or you want to show your next whip, or you want me to? She's crocheting over here while we're filming.
Trying to get it out of the bag. Such a big project in a tiny bag.
You're outgrowing your bag.
Mm-hmm. It's becoming very large. Not too long ago, but not that short of a time ago, I got a lot of dopamine trying to create a skirt. I haven't worked on it in a long time, but it is very close to being finished.
Mm-hmm. So, are you following a pattern, or did you kind of just make this up?
I'm following a pattern from YouTube. I don't remember the name of them, but I will have it linked down in the description. And I do have a second yarn in here. It is more of a fluffier and thicker yarn.
It's called Chanel.
Chanel, yeah. And there are some times where I go through the back loop here only, and I will be making that in a fluff, kind of like layered looking.
Let's see. Is this the right side, or it's the reverse? Side. Yeah. So you can see here she's got a couple of rows that stand out there, and they will have her pick up on those rows and do a little ruffle. She did a crocheted
ribbing
strip, right? And so it was back and forth short, right, until it fit around you.
Yes, go in the back loop only, I think, and then forget what it's called. You
did a double crochet?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Half double?
No, you chain.
Oh, okay.
You chain 2, flip it around, and then go through the back loop only again, and it makes a sort of ribbed thing, and then you do it until it goes around your entire waist.
So you started with this, and you went this way, back and forth, until it fit all the way around you.
Yes, and you actually have to make it stretch just a little bit.
Okay.
So a little less than your waist.
And so now you keep increasing, and you have lots and lots of stitches. Is that why you lost steam so far?
Yes.
But maybe you guys can encourage her that you really want to see it finished. So maybe she'll get excited from your comments and she'll put in some work on it.
I'm trying to get it done before this Friday because I want to be able to wear it because I have to go someplace special. And I did ask the person that I'm doing this special thing with, and they said it was okay if I mentioned it. Should I mention it?
What?
The haunted house.
Oh, yeah. She's doing a haunted house with her friend at her friend's house.
Yes, every Friday and Saturday this October at my friend's house here in Oregon. We're having a haunted house, and it is, some people may not know this, some people may know it, it is FNAF themed, or Five Nights at Freddy's. A lot of us are doing either Security Breach or just any character from the entire franchise. And me and my friend are doing this one character that has split personalities, basically. So he's going to be a person named Sun, and I'm going to be Moon. And we all have different characters for each night. So I have 3 characters in total.
So how much longer do you think you need to make this to be done before you're happy with it being done? Because you're going to wear it over pants regardless, right?
I feel like I might just want to stop it at this next round, but I know there has to be another place in time that I have to make. I think, maybe, hold on. How many back stitches are there? There's only 2. There's
only 2.
There's supposed to be 3.
Yeah, so you got to finish this column here,
I think,
like that. So that looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rows. So you've got 1,
it's either
2.
I have to do another back stitch or I just go in through the bottom. So I might stop it in a few more rows if I want to.
Well, you'd have to in order to keep this same pattern repeat. You'd have to do 3 more rows of regular double crochet.
Yes.
Before you decided to stop, which is still kind of short, but I mean, it's yours, so you can stop whenever you want. I'd say go until that skein runs out and don't worry about going into the next one. That's what I think, because and this is Patton's worsted, I think. I do believe. It's Patton's worsted. All right, so this next whip I have in this bag here that I thought was another one is Bobby's Unbearable hoodie, and you guys have seen it before, and it hasn't really changed very much. I'm still working on the hood. I have about, I think, like, I'm supposed to knit until this is like 8 inches or 9 inches. I have to look at the pattern to see, but it's his giant tunic, unbearable hoodie that does not have the bears at all. It just has stripes. And it's really long, and I still have to do surgery on it, and I've been avoiding it, because I don't want to, and everything else is more fun. This is Stonewall American Delaine Merino. It's so soft, and it is almost getting cold here, so I really should finish it for him so that he can wear it, and love it and enjoy it. He's so patient with me when it comes to me knitting for him. So there's that. I have, the other whip I've been working on quite a bit is last year's Geo Gradient, because I was trying to see if I could get done before this year's Mystery Knit Along, but seeing as it starts on Thursday, I think, and today is Sunday, I'm not going to be able to finish it, and that's okay. I'm still going to cast on this year's. So this is it so far. I have finished this part of Clue 3, and I just have to finish this part. I really do enjoy this textured pattern that is on here, but I have to keep looking at the pattern. Like, I have to keep checking the pattern just to see how it starts, and to make sure I end properly. But pretty much across the center is pretty easy to just slip a certain number of stitches and knit a certain number of stitches. But I really do enjoy the texture that it creates. It's kind of stretchy and bouncy, and it's like, it's good sensory feels to it. This was a kit we put together last year. This is BFL, our BFL base. And that's about all I have to say about that. I am going to cast on this year's. I have not picked my colors out yet, but it's likely to be purple and green is my thing. I have 2 skeins of Oogie Boogie by Always Be Kind Yarn, and I have 2 skeins of Purple Nurple by Boss Kitty, and I think that might be what I end up using. I was going to use the Boss Kitty for something else, but I think I changed my mind because it was a crochet pattern that I thought would be super cute for me to do. I will pop a picture in here. It's had these beautiful crescent moons on it, but it starts with a foundation crochet, and I lost steam on it about 25 stitches into that foundation crochet and decided, yeah, no, I'm not going to do that right now. So I think I'm going to reclaim the yarn from that and use that for my Go-Go Dynamo Mystery Knit Along this year. The next whip I have is living in this awesome giant bag that holds all of my hand spun. It is the Haiku Cardi, and let's see, this cardigan is pretty neat because you start kind of like a triangle shawl. Not kind of like, just like a triangle shawl. I mean, you do a provisional cast on here instead of the like the garter tab cast on, and you increase out just like a triangle. And then I am to the point now where I'm creating some stitches here. This is where it's going to divide for the neck, and this will come over one shoulder, and the other side of the triangle will come over the other shoulder, and so you knit back and forth. And then when they're a certain length, you join in the round and you pick up along this bottom, and you'll knit back and forth that way. So it's not joining in the round, you're joining the sleeves with the body. And I'm knitting this in all of my hand spun. I don't want to pull it all out, but I will give you a glimpse of this massive bag of hand spun in here. Newsflash, most of it's purple and green. If you know me at all, or you chat with me on Zoom, you will know that I always spin in purple and green, apparently. It's just my happy place when I'm spinning yarn. So this sweater will be mostly purple and green. There's a few in there that aren't that color, but like this one I'm in now is actually blue and pink. But yeah, so I'm just having fun with that. This is my in-store project, so if I get some folks that come in throughout the week and are just want to hang out and knit, I'll pull this out and sit down with them and just work on this for a little while. So this kind of lives here. It doesn't get worked on very much. Most of my knitting time actually happens at home and not in the yarn store. People think, oh, you own a yarn store, you get to knit all day. Well, I could knit all day long. But then nothing else would get done. I wouldn't be able to order yarn and set up classes and process the orders that come in and help people with fixing their stitches and patterns and stuff like that. So I actually don't get to knit at work very often. I do get to knit on Saturdays and Friday nights because those are Friday night knits and Saturday stitches groups that I host here. And so yeah, that's when I get to knit at work. You have no other whips?
Nope, I think that's it.
You are just so disciplined, aren't you?
Yep.
And then in this favorite bag of mine lives my Voyage by Wool and Pine. So Chevis called me out for not showing it in my last podcast because I didn't. Because when I filmed the last podcast, it was in August. I hadn't been working on it for a while. I have been working on this a ton. But it kind of, the mystery knit along from last year, the Geo Gradient, took precedent because I was trying to see if I could squeak it out before October, because that's usually my goal, is to finish it within a year. And so it didn't. But then I pulled this out because my customer that inspired me. So Chevis was working on hers and it was so gorgeous and I was just telling people about it, and that inspired one of my customers to start her own, and she started it and finished it in what felt like no time flat. Well, she wore hers in the other day because it was sweater weather here, and I just said, oh, I have got to work on mine. And when I picked it up, I realized I'm a lot further in it than I thought I was. I am now to the neck divide. So the way this is knit, it's in the round and you steek the front as well as the sleeves. And so I have already done the sleeve decrease that tapers that in, and I have done the straight knitting that would be this part here, and now I am doing some decreases that will essentially be the neckline right here. And there's only about 32 rows of that. And then once that is done, I have some short rows on the shoulder, and then I get to pick up the button band and sleeves and stuff and steek it and everything. So I'm kind of excited for that. I'm loving the colors in this. It's just so beautiful. Like even the camera makes it, like, I think, look, I don't know if it's more beautiful or less beautiful, but my favorite spot is this spot that just happened right here. I've got this green and this hot pink right here. It's so cute. I need to finish this. So technically it's like right here. See how close I am to being done? Bottom up sweaters usually take me an eternity. They're not my favorite. This one was bottom up. It felt like it took forever. I actually only knit on it for like 14 days, I think. But I started it in June and I didn't finish it until the beginning of September. So that took forever for those 14 days worth of knitting to happen. But there's quite a few more days on this, as you can see. That's what I do with these. All of my progress keepers, I say it every time, but you never know who's watching that doesn't understand what all of that jingle is. Every day that I pick this up, I put on a progress keeper. So when I'm all done, I will take them all off and count them, and then I know how many days I put into this sweater. Some days I knit more than others, so like you can see there's a big gap from here to here, But down here, some of these are just, you know, one little row in between there. So, yeah. So that is my voyage, and that is my last knitting whip. What?
I have a future cast on that.
You want to talk about your future cast on? Absolutely.
Because I forgot I had one. I thought that was the end of my project.
Well, it's not a project yet, so you can actually. Now's a good segue. You can go right into that because the next thing I have is not related to knitting or crochet. So
there's this show or anime that me and my sister have gotten into watching, and I really like it. I haven't finished it yet because I keep forgetting to watch it. My sister has watched it all. There might still be some episodes coming out that I want to watch. But in the beginning of the show, which it is called Delicious in the Dungeon, or some call it Dungeon Meshi, there is this creature that I find very funny and hilarious. It is called a walking mushroom. I decided when I was watching the show to see if there was any crocheted patterns of it, and there is, and I really would like to start crocheting it. They are huge little funny characters that have a whole entire mushroom body with little mushroom feet.
I will pop a picture in here of that. That's really cute. So when you finish your skirt, maybe we can get you the yarn for that.
It's like 3 colors for the entire thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just a big giant tan and red and white.
So I do have another whip, but it is not knitting. It is needle punch. And that is because I do everything backwards, right? I want to learn the hardest thing first, and then I'll learn the easy way. So I did that with spinning. I learned how to spin on a spinning wheel before I learned how to do a drop spindle. Most people start with a drop spindle and travel to a big wheel. So I just go in reverse. So I learned how to do all of my rugs with a needle punch gun instead of learning how to do needle punch by hand first. So this is my current whip. It is a little pumpkin, and this is I'm going to pull it out, but that's going to mess up some of the stitches. I'm going to put my hand there. So this is the needle punch. Scarlett, block your face. So this is a needle punch. I got this at Joann Fabrics. I was kind of bummed because I thought it would be for worsted weight yarn, and it is not. It's for fingering weight yarn, which I don't know when the last time you were at Joann Fabrics, but mine does not have very much fingering weight yarn, so they have no business selling a fingering weight needle punch. They needed to have a worsted weight one. I'm going to be bringing in an actual whole set of them, or interchangeable rather, needle punch set for the shop. But pretty much you just thread your yarn through and you stick it through here, and then you pull your needle out and you grease it up the fabric a little bit and you stick it back in. And this creates a loop pile tufted piece. So my gun at home that I use is a cut pile gun. I can change it to a loop pile, which I have not tried yet, but it is a cut pile gun, meaning when it sticks the needle through, it also sends a pair of scissors through with the needle and snips the yarn as it's pulling back. So that means instead of being loops here, they're all cut. So that's what gives it like that plush texture that is on my rugs. This is all loops. So I have been playing around with that. I have not finished this one yet, but I did finish these two. So I just was messing around with some scrap yarn, making some pumpkins, and I think maybe you can see from the side there, these are just little loops. Here is the back of them. I pushed in my ends from the other side, from this side to the other side, and then snipped them off. So you can see from this one, I have little ends sticking out everywhere, and if I were to pull one of those ends, it would unravel everything. So you would still need to secure the back of these in some way if you were like making a coaster or a rug. But I just had these cute little frames that were actually for cross stitch, and I thought that they would be just fine to try my hand at the needle punch. Future, I will not probably use these. I will use the cloth more similar to what I use for my rug tufting, because it's this is an Aida cloth, and what I use for my rugs is more similar to a monk's cloth, so it's a little, I don't know, this one's, and it could be the needle size for the whole size of the thread count of this particular fabric. It's just not a wonderful combination. But I was just using what I had to try it out. I think this only cost, the needle punch only cost me, I'm pretty sure it was less than $10. I don't remember exactly. But I just wanted to try it to see if I could do it. And I did. And, in comparison, it is way slower than my gun, of course, but it's nice to have that like control of exactly where my stitch is going, and the direction that I need to turn. It's so much easier to just pivot my needle slightly and go into the next spot, so I can be a little more precise with how I'm doing it. Like, take a peek at the back of that. It's just super neat. I just really enjoy it. So that is new. All of these rugs behind me are new. Scarlett designed that strawberry milk one down there. She drew all of those little cow spots. I've been having fun just finding some images on Canva that kind of looked like neon signs. So that's like the bat. It's meant to look like a neon sign, and the record, as well as this skull behind me. We've got a fun Pop-Tart that I did. All of those are available on thenaughtynitress.com if you are interested in one of them. I also am, if you want a custom rug, send me an email at andythenitress@gmail.com, and we can chat about sizing and pricing and such for that if you're absolutely interested in having a custom rug. I do enjoy a challenge. I think that's all I have to talk about. Let's see. Oh, I did finish a wind spinner. Everybody was on that wind spinner craze with the crocheted wind spinners, but it is hanging up front in my Halloween display. I will pop in a picture. It is a little bat, and it glows in the dark, and it's got the wind spinner on the bottom. Let's see. Talked about that. Yes, yes, yes. And yes. And yeah, so we went to see the Beetlejuice movie, and it was amazing, and I loved it, and I wore my Beetlejuice sweater. If any of you have been around here for a while, you might remember it. I will pop in a picture here of me wearing my Beetlejuice sweater at the movie theater. Took the whole family. Everybody wanted to go, which for me, that was like a total win, because most of the time my older two, whenever I ask if they want to go anywhere, the answer is no. Because, they don't want to hang out with mom and dad. This one always wants to hang out with mom and dad because she's the baby and she just loves her mom the most. But when I said, hey, we're going to go to the Beetlejuice movie, do you folks want to go? And they were like, yes, without hesitation. So that was like, yes, I passed it on.
Xander wanted to just have an opinion of the movie because he can't really have an opinion without watching it. And he knew some of his friends would probably talk about it.
It's okay. He went, and that made me happy. But it was a really good movie. Was it as good as the first one? No, obviously not. Because the first one was, the first one. But I think that Catherine O'Hara was just amazing in that movie. You can kind of see, Michael Keaton's creeping up there in age, but there were some funny scenes, made me absolutely laugh. I took my my car knitting with me, which is a Musselburgh hat that I never have to show because it lives in my car. When it's finished, I'll show it eventually. I took that with me, and I got in several rows on that hat. During the movie, I wanted to go watch a movie again, like immediately afterwards. But I did not. And then Scarlett started school. She's been having a good time at school. She just went to a dance the other day. We both got haircuts, in case you didn't notice. Super cute, kind of letting our curls kind of show off themselves instead of having my hair pulled back constantly. I have a couple of vendor events coming up here in this first week of October, and just other than that, it's a yarn store business.
I get to what is it called?
Volunteer
in one of them.
Yeah, she's signed up to volunteer at one of the events, and yeah, so it's just regular old knitting stuff. So, and crochet. And I've just been super happy to have folks come and sit in and work on their projects with me and seek help here when they need. Everybody's realizing like, oh, hey, I can just pop to the yarn store and kind of move forward on this project. So it's just super rewarding for me to be able to provide that knowledge for my local community. It just makes my heart so happy. Yeah. So, I guess just take life one stitch at a time, because that is all you can do. I think we're a little crooked. I think I should scoot over towards you a little. We need to scoot this way a little.
Yes.
You need to come in. It's backwards. Okay. Wow, it's way off center for me because I'm used to it being in the front. And because we have you here, like the middle is actually in between us, and I am not good with backwards